In this video we're going to learn the single crochet stitch, which is one of the most basic stitches in crochet and can be used to make almost any type of project, from scarves and bags to hats and mittens. Now to begin, I've already got a small piece of crochet started so that I can show you the foundations of how to make the stitches. So as you can see, I have my crochet hook already set through a loop of yarn, and I am pulling the yarn over my index finger to keep it taut while using the rest of my fingers to hold what I've already crocheted steady so that it's not moving around while I'm trying to use the yarn and hook. Now to make a single crochet, we're going to look on the top of the piece and see that there are several little V's along the top of the piece. Each one of these V's is a single stitch, and we're going to be putting the hook through them to make our single crochet stitch. Now we always put the hook in from front to back, so you want to look for the top of the V here and go in under it, and make sure you poke the hook through underneath both pieces of the V. So when you have the hook through the yarn, you should see two separate pieces on top of the hook. Once you have the hook through, you're going to bring the yarn over from back to front, hook it, and pull it through. So now we have two loops on the hook, and we'll bring the yarn from back to front again, hook it, and pull it through both loops. And that's our finished single crochet stitch. So each one, you can look at the stitch and you'll see the basic setup of the stitch has two horizontal bars and then kind of an upside down V. And the way you're going to make the stitch is poke in between the horizontal bars of two stitches. So we'll check the top to make sure we've got it through the entire stitch. Bring the yarn from back to front and around. Pull it through the project. We've got our two loops on the hook now. So go back to front, hook it, pull it through the two loops, and we have our stitch. Now you always want to make sure you're poking it through both pieces of the V. If you poke it through just the front half, you'll start coming out of the top, and then you'll have a ridge along the back of your work like this. Let me just get a couple stitches so I can show you what that looks like. So as you can see, since I only poked it through the fronts of the loops, I have this little ridge that's developing on the back that I don't have with the first two stitches that I did. And the same thing will happen if you poke it just through the back of the stitch. You'll get the same ridge, but it'll be in the front of the piece. Some projects will ask you to specifically poke through the front or back loop, and that's just referring to this is the front loop and this is the back loop. So if you are putting the hook just through the back loop, you'll get that ridge in the front. And if you're putting it just through the front loop, you'll get the ridge in the back. Some projects will ask you to do this specifically because you want that kind of ridge look, but if it does not specify to go through just the front loop or just the back loop, then you'll want to make sure you're going through both loops to make a nice seamless single crochet. So I'll just unravel this a little and we'll go through it one more time just to recap. Alright, so now we know that for the single crochet stitch, we just need to hold our piece securely in our hand, have the yarn taut around the finger, and first poke through the project, then loop over the yarn, pull it through the project. Look to make sure we have two loops. Bring the yarn from back to front again and pull through the two loops. Each time that's repeated is one stitch. So we go that is another stitch, and you'll do that either to the end of your project or for the number of stitches that your pattern requires. So thank you for watching, and make sure to check out our other videos for more stitches and techniques.